Good morning, friends. We are starting school off today doing nature notebooks. I lost my buddy. I went and grabbed the camera and my buddy has disappeared to go help their daddy with their outside chores. So they're doing outside chores and I'll meet them out there with their nature notebooks. We are just using, I feel like you could absolutely make your own nature notebook for free or however much it is to print paper and make a little spiral notebook or put it into a small little binder and come up with ideas, go to Pinterest. Right now in this season, I'm using Pinterest for our certain crafts each day, and any tools that help me right now is just really necessary. So we're using the Good and the Beautiful I've shared with our other curriculum, and then last year I also got their nature notebooks, and we only did a few pages in it last year just because we had a kindergartner and a preschooler, like we did that last year. Today I think they're gonna start their little summer bingo, and then they can draw little pictures in each thing that they find, and whoever gets to bingo. And then maybe we'll do the nature hike and see which things that we can find. But first, good morning. I am just saving some seeds. So I'm doing a little experiment. I just let lettuce bolt or go to seed, and it shoots out this stalk in the middle, and it made these beautiful flowers, which is awesome. And it brought pollinators and all the good things. And then through the summer, they started dying back, and I left most of them out there. They are drying out, and I just noticed a few days ago that their seeds had been falling to the ground. So I'm gonna try that, and then in a different bed, I'm going to take the ones that I harvested, and they have these little pods. So after they flower and then they die back, behind the flower are these pods, and then I take the pod and I'm just rubbing it between my fingers and breaking it open, and then all the seeds fall out. In just one pod, I have all these seeds. So I'm just gonna go sprinkle these in the garden into different beds and kind of see different methods to see which ones work better. But I'm gonna sprinkle them pretty thick, and we'll start with some baby greens. And then when those come in, I will thin them out and use the baby greens for salads, and then let those grow and they become kind of more medium-sized heads, and then thin those out and use those, and then they will be spaced out perfectly where I will let the remaining ones go into big heads of lettuce. I'm doing it on a piece of paper versus the paper towel. All the seeds start sticking to the paper towel, and I just slide them on into our lettuce bag. Now we started off this morning as this being the start of school and some lessons with how plants work. This bag of seeds, if I just bought it from the store, is probably maybe a couple packets. Let's see, maybe 3 packets, and the packets could be anywhere between $1 and $4. So my passion really is learning sustainability, learning the skills that my ancestors had that we are just losing generation to generation. And so I'm mostly doing all of these different tricks and techniques to learn and teach the girls. I have splurged on a lot of different seeds, and there are some pepper packets that I have used them all the way up, and I can literally cut open one pepper and use all their seeds in just one pepper, and that will replenish double what I got in the seed packet, if not 10 times. Today we are going to feed our starter, which is for our bread making, and I will bring you guys along for that and start learning those skills. And then today we are adding to our farm family. I don't know when we became the crazy chicken family, but we are, and we are getting more chickens. And we will share a little bit more of why and where from and what our plan is for all these chickens. Now that we don't have a newborn and dealing with health issues and sleepless nights and all the things, we are now more passionate about growing our sustainability here, learning more trades on homesteading, and that includes more animals. And I would love to hear your guys' input on just the knowledge that you guys have, because I would like to do this together and for all of us to just start learning all of these skills that our previous generations had, and they just knew and understood. They knew all about goats and they knew all about pigs. And I have to admit, I am more tempted to get pigs right now just because that is a meat that we still buy. We are actually very self-sustainable when it comes to meat. I almost never buy meat. Hi. Are you gonna show them? You're back being my seed helper? Were you guys helping Daddy?
Well, I was just jumping on the trampoline.
Oh, okay. You were just taking a break? Is Daddy moving the chickens? Does he need our help? Let's go out and check on him. Do you want to show them how you're taking the pods off the plant?
But there's
And then
0.
look at all of your seeds you're collecting. How cool is that? My little gardener, Callie, loves to garden. She's learning so much.
So you guys just take a circle off.
Pick a circle off.
Then take the corner off.
Okay.
Then just peel it.
Peel it.
Then those are the seeds.
Very good. I love that we're learning together. Okay, so if you've grown anything this summer, even if it's a pot with just some tomatoes in it, save those seeds. Because look at all that. That is literally from a couple of sprigs from the lettuce that I let go to seed. Pretty cool. All right, so our morning chores are almost over, and then we will start school outside. The weather is getting so amazing. Just the slight cooler breeze and not being above 90. Oh, it feels so good. But we are moving the fence. It is long overdue. So this is what happens when you leave chickens stationary. So a lot of people do a stationary chicken coop and just leave it in one spot. And this is what's gonna happen to your whole chicken yard. It'll all just turn to dirt and mud, and chickens with wet, muddy feet are less likely to lay.
Why we couldn't move it. We had 20 inches of rain in the last 3 weeks.
Right, so it took us a while to move it because we've had so much rain. So, but this is what normal chicken coops look like. And you guys know that. You guys have seen chicken coop pictures, and they're all just dirt and dust. And what do you think the plethora of bugs here is gonna be? Probably not so much. What do you think the plethora of bugs over here is going to be? A full-on Thanksgiving meal. Yes, baby?
Thank you, Mary, for your help.
Oh, yes. The girls love playing. Kinsley is Mary, Callie is Laura, and Cassidy is little baby Carrie. And then I'm Caroline or Ma. Philip is Charles or Pa. If you don't know what I'm talking about, those are all the characters on Little House on the Prairie, and the girls love to play pretend. You want to put the ramp up? Okay. So dream world eventually would be to change our setup where it would be a lot easier to move the coop on a every few days basis. But right now we move them ideally once a week, but this has probably been 2, maybe 3 weeks. Look at you, you little chicky chick.
That's
Are
good.
they aware of what's coming later? Yeah, could you
Oh, that was sitting in chicken poop. Lovely. Philip just drove the chicken coop up from where the fence was forward to the front of where it is, and then we move this wall up, and then we're going to stretch the fence going on that way, so they have all that fresh grass, and then just this tiny section back here is still the same enclosed fence. We have found that to be the easiest way, except for when I say easiest, Philip's carrying a handful of fencing.
It is a lot easier to move fencing when it has been raining a lot because the ground is not so hard in the summer.
Yeah,
it's a lot harder to pull it out.
They are pulling out
And
a
they
lot
rip
easier.
out sometimes, unfortunately. They say that this might be the rainiest summer ever.
Yeah.
Problem with that is that even with an ATV, you just slop around, you just make such a mess.
Yeah.
We're grateful to move them today because of the new chickens coming in.
Let me clarify. You don't take the brand new chickens and put them straight into
Right.
your chicken coop.
But-
So we will show you how we're
How many?
going to be introducing
23.
23.
What?
23.
There's only 23 chickens.
I just counted.
I hope you
I
counted
hope that's
wrong.
not right.
I hope you counted wrong by 7.
Let's try again. Let's count again.
Cool.
That would be really bad. A whole fresh meal. Okay, that's actually really smart. Why don't we do that every time?
What?
Moving it forward again,
Yeah.
and then that way, next time we don't even have to move it. We just move the fence.
Correct.
Don't worry, guys. It's only taken us a year to come up with new systems. So if you guys followed us and found us mostly because of how much we shared about our family building and our infertility journey. Well, if you missed the other vlog, that is coming up. We are going to have our very first appointment in less than a month. But if you are enjoying some homestead, permaculture, all the things, and that's already a passion for you, you probably already followed Justin Rhodes. So he is a big permaculture channel here on YouTube, and he has a building plan of what I know. It's free, and he will tell you the exact steps to build your own mobile chicken coop. What's cool about that model is that you can actually move it by hand and not have to tow it. We found this last year on Facebook Marketplace, and we repurposed it to become a mobile chicken coop. It has worked great, it is wonderful, but there's definitely a lot more effort that goes into moving it versus one that has the right physics and the right materials, where I could push up, it changes the balance, and I would be able to walk it and move it, and I could potentially move the chicken coop and the fence all by myself, and then we could move the chickens more often. But if you guys missed that little section of I was big and pregnant, Philip surprised me with 20 chickens, and we were delivering a baby right before Cassidy was born. We transferred our oldest chickens outside, and so we didn't really have the time to be building a new structure. So we found this on Facebook Marketplace, and it was a dream, and it was a miracle that we even found it. But if you're getting into this for the very first time, I would encourage you to at least go check out those free plans and see if that would be something that would work for you. I'm just a big advocate of not having a stationary chicken coop, and you don't need to have a big, huge yard. Most of the time, we keep our chickens all in this front yard section, and honestly, the amount of space we use for our chickens is about a half an acre, and if we go even a little bit further, maybe an acre. But you also have to remember, we have 30 chickens. So if you had 10 chickens and you had a half an acre, you could have that little mobile chicken coop and move it around your yard, and that would be a great option. Now, we live in the woods, so predators are a thing for chickens, and we have been very lucky so far. We lost some teenage chickens to some hawks.
Well, then we lost two to a bobcat.
Did we lose 2 of them? Was that when we didn't have a rooster, huh? And then we lost 2 more chickens to a bobcat, and we only know it was a bobcat because we saw him come back in the middle of the day, prowl around, jump on this mobile chicken coop, not the trampoline, this mobile chicken coop back here. He jumped on that, and then he started prowling and going towards our actual chicken coop. I think one of my favorite parts of Tennessee is the change of weather, that it's not the same all year round, and we get seasons. And this week it has finally cooled down enough where look it up. And this week it has finally cooled down enough where we can actually be outside after 9 a.m. And oh, that breeze is right. So we're just doing some nature notebooks outside, enjoying being outside. It's giving me a little deja vu of when we started the school year last year and we did some nature notebooks. My mom was here. We sat on a blanket right over there, and I remember because I was nursing Cassidy.
Cassie was so young that time and so cute and so little.
She was so little.
She let me even hold her when her head was on my arm.
Did you like being a big sister holding your baby?
So she let me hold her. So like her head was on my arm, and
that's so
sweet.
Now
she's so wiggly. And
she is so wiggly.
I wish she would stay still in my arms. So when she woke up this morning, I was holding her like this, and she stayed still while we were playing.
Oh, she stayed still this morning? She was tired enough?
Yeah.
Guess what? You get to be a big sister to 8 new family members today.
Why? How do you know?
I love your guys' face. Can I tell you?
Why?
We're getting 8 new family members. 8.
What are they?
They're chickens.
Oh.
Oh. All those chickens need some more sisters, apparently.
Hey, come on, girls. Let's go get your chicken.
Gotta bring the box.
So I'm going to need you to preside over the back of the truck.
Okay.
Animal, here, beautiful. That's her face. That's okay. Put your buddies down there.
The black are gonna be like the black Australians.
girls.
I'm so proud of them.
So we're gonna get you Oh my gosh, y'all. We've got them tied down. I don't know if you guys can see this, but chickens are tied down in that big ol' box. We're gonna get them home as soon as possible, start feeding them. They were looking to get rid of them. They couldn't find anybody that wanted 8 more hens. And I said, well, we got 30, what's another 8? And so we were grateful for that because it gets to feed our friends and our family and our people in our Bible studies and church and whatnot. Because we give the eggs away as ministry. It's a part of just being able to feed people is such a blessing, and it's something that I absolutely love to do. But we are running low on fuel. We need to get out there soon. They have a massive chicken coop that they're trying to get rid of and sell as well. We don't have the budget for it, but we're gonna talk about it and pray about it. But it is just the coolest stinking thing I've ever seen. Just such a beautiful property out here in Tennessee. We'll catch up with you guys in a minute when we get the chickens rehomed. Beautiful chickens, a lot of really cool varieties, and we'll talk about it shortly. These guys, whom I love so much, have no idea how rowdy it's about to get. Chickies. Okay, I got the blanket in there. So hopefully the ride wasn't too incredibly bumpy. Hi, babies. They're good. They're probably scared. The thing that I am going to do right now is I am going to move this coop into a spot that I think would be best. What we're going to be doing is moving it every single day towards the other chickens so that they can sort of see, like, okay, they're not the only chickens here. The new ones can feel at home, and the old ones can see that that they got new ones coming in. And so you don't want to, usually what you want to do with chickens when you're getting new chickens, we've done this twice now, is that you want to sort of put them next to the habitat that they're going to go in and live in. One of the things that we do well is trying to place them in slowly, which I think is really important so that they are not super scared. Also, the ones that have domain here don't kind of overtake or treat the new ones rudely. Setting out the water in the new food, clipping their wings, because they were flying when we were trying to get them out of their cage. So they are definitely not clipped. They could definitely fly quite a while. And I'm gonna get out of these mosquitoes for a minute, but I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Hopefully Alex will come and help me out. If not, that'll be okay. I can do this on my own, right? Don't you eat me, mosquito. I'm not good dinner. Fun fact, the mosquitoes that bite are all females because they need blood. But I feel like I heard somewhere that like 99% of mosquitoes that bite are female because they have to have blood to produce offspring and for reproduction. I believe that that's 100% truth. Although I could have just made up a fact, a Philip fact. I'm gonna go get the clippers. Yes. Right here, little clippers. Here is a graphic to what we're going to be doing. These are the wings that you clip. These are the wings that you do not clip. And the reason is they feel a little off balance, and so they have a little less cockiness to fly, which is really important for us because we don't want them to fly away. We do want our chickens to free range. We have not gotten to that point because every time we try, they get eaten. Many of you guys know this, but our first batch of chickens, we got like 20 of them. They ended up having 8 or 9 male out of them. I hear Alex. Woohoo! There she is. She's here to save the day. Come on, girl.
All right, I've got about 30 minutes before I have to go pick
ready?
up the girls.
I got everything we need.
Can we get him closer?
No.
This is as close as you
This is as close as I don't need to turn on the engine. It was a situation.
Oh, okay.
Not a bad one, but certainly.
Poor guys, I'm sorry, girls.
Okay, so you're gonna hop in there.
Yeah.
And you're going to hand them to me one by one. If you just push on this a little bit, you'll be able to grab them out.
Well, I did it. If I can take.
Actually, unhook this.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
How we got him in. If I can unflap this, then I can.
Are you the smartest? I believe so.
We did this one at a time.
How many do you think pooped on your Mexican blanket?
There's a lot of poop on my blanket.
Yeah, that's
But
okay.
I didn't want them to slide around on the cardboard.
That is a really good idea.
All right, girl.
Beautiful. Wait. Got it.
All right.
Beautiful.
intense when you're getting new family members. So that chicken coop was $50 on Facebook Marketplace. We couldn't even buy the materials for that price. So
and our mobile
even
chicken,
though it's heavy, it was worth it. But if we can reconstruct that, we could possibly make it
100%.
even more usable.
It's a good one. Our mobile chicken coop was $400, and considering that a trailer you can't even get for $400, it was a steal.
Okay, so I need this.
Hi, sweetness. I know, this looks so scary. That little one. So pippy. Well, you flung him out.
I didn't lift him.
You flung him out. Okay.
Well, we only let one escape. He might be in our neighbor's yard for the remainder of his
Okay, I'm gonna get them
existence.
the food and the water.
Okay.
And
If that one knows there's food, I wonder if there's any way he would come back. She would come back.
chickens, thank you. I'm so grateful for our chickens. Are you? I love the chickens. Look at him. He's in the woods. Mom, hey, Baba. I'll help you. Okay, leave it open, Alex.
Leave the gate open. That black one is the aggressive one.
Over there. I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. And that chicken is about to get trapped. Watch. Keep walking, Alex. Stop. He's so curious. Get in there. Go, Alex.
Yes! Yes, that was so cool. That was cool.
Wow.
You guys have done that before.
Chicken wranglers.
That was impressive. Who'd have thought a couple from California could teach this hillbilly something?
Yeah, I'm telling you what.
That's funny.
Okay.
God.
The string worked. Just as
I love
hoped.
that trick.
I thought about it while I was cooking dinner. Your family coming over for dinner? Come on, bring them over.
The family's wondering.
You did it.
Good job. That's
walking.
impressive.
Okay.
So we just finished the vlog, but I realized while editing that I didn't show you how we have been feeding our starter. And I'm hoping that you guys that commented on our last video are watching towards the end. And my comment when I said yeast was invented 100 years ago, of course I didn't mean just yeast. Yeast is yeast. I was talking about the active dry yeast packets that we have made bread rise rapidly, in the sense where when they invented it, we were able to do Wonder Bread and all of the store-bought bread. So the research I've done and the documentaries I've watched just really educate me on that fast rising that we are doing doesn't give that bread that time like sourdough does, where it has those enzymes in it that are going to help your body digest the food. So we noticed with our family that we are just able to handle gluten a lot better when we do it in a sourdough form. Now, could there be other reasons? Yes. I mean, we are spraying our wheat fields with a lot of pesticides. So if you think of pesticides killing off all of the bugs, what do you think that those pesticides are doing to your gut flora and the bugs that are living in your intestine. So dream world, if I could find it, we would love to do ancient grain flour, which could be an einkorn or an emer. I think that's how I pronounce it, emer. And, but for now, we just try to stick with an organic flour. And then I just wanna show you how we do our starter. So we do a 1 to 1 to 1. So we use a scale. Before we had a scale, I think we did a 2 parts flour, 1 part water, 1 part starter. But we now do it with a scale. So we do a 1 to 1 to 1. So it's all the same weight, however much you wanna do. Let's say you do 50 grams. So you do 50 grams starter, 50 grams water, 50 gram flour. And you'll notice that the size of each is obviously going to be greatly different. You're going to have a lot more flour. So that's how we're going to do it. So I'm just going to use a Trader Joe's ground flour for today. We have a 50-pound bag that we got from the Amish market down the way that is ground. We are using ground flour until we can find a better grinder that doesn't take 10 minutes to make 2 tablespoons of flour. So I've been wanting to switch to glass for a while, so we're just going to zero it out so it doesn't count the jar. Okay, let's do maybe, it's about 50 grams. I have all of that left over. Now we're gonna have to be feeding it for a few days to wake it back up, so I don't wanna do a lot. I could probably even do 20 grams. So between each, I'm just going to zero the scale, add my flour. I'm just going to zero it out again and then add my water.
Mom, what are you making?
I'm just feeding our starter. There we go. Mixed all 3 of ours together. I'm just gonna...
Mom, can I stir it?
You wanna stir it? Yeah, get a step stool.
I thought I heard Cassidy crying.
Yep, Cassie's awake. Can you go get it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then that's it. So I just take a cloth and cover it so it can have some air, but not let the fruit flies in there. Okay, we are going on the rest with our day. See you guys in our next video. Go let your love multiply.